this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Bundy.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Welcome to Tattletales. Thank you for coming to see us today, tuning us in, and for you to come and see us today. What? Yes, did you have a question? How come I didn't kiss the girl in the front row? Why? Is that part of it? I'm sorry. Sometimes you have to do things. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Thank you, my dear. Gee, that's interesting. I never had a member of the audience tell me to kiss someone before, sir. I don't know what that means. We have three wonderful couples today who are going to win a lot of money for these charming people, including this beautiful young lady in the front row. And here they are, winning money for the blues section today, Mr. Gary Collins and his wife, Marianne Mobley.
I hope that was a nice Jewish boy that you just kissed.
I kissed a girl.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm nearsighted.
I kissed a lovely girl in the front row there.
She's still blushing.
And I get paid for this, too. Marianne, how are you, darling?
I'm fine. Did I miss something?
No, now we can hear you. Speak again, my dear.
Hello, hello?
There we go.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to be sure you
I
can hear me.
just heard you talking about kissing someone.
Yes, it was me. It wasn't Gary. Everything's cool. Don't worry. You're fine.
But the question is, would you open the letter?
Never mind.
Right.
It's going to be wild today. I promise you that. Winning money today for the banana section, and he's going to ensure that it stays wild. From Welcome Back Cotter, Mr. Robert Hegyes and his wife, Mary.
These folks are hyped. They're ready.
Oh, yes. No, this crowd has to cheer down. There's no question about it. But the reason is, you see, they know that you're going to win them so much money and that they're going to have so much fun today.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
What do you think
There's
about
no
that,
doubt.
Blue?
Right, Mary?
Yeah,
Yes.
oh,
Okay.
yeah, we're going to
Absolutely.
win.
There's no problem here. But of course, you have to realize the bananas are always a little,
Off the wall.
Yeah.
That's the way I like them.
They
A little
start
off
things
the
off
wall,
that way.
Right, right.
See? And they can also turn on you very quickly, too, as you can just see. Winning money today for the red section, the columnist from Daily Variety and the producer of the People's Choice Awards, which you must have seen because everybody in America did, Mr. Army Archer and his wife, Selma.
Hey, we got some bunch there. You're not fooling
I can't
around
wait to see
today.
them.
Hey, that red section is very strong for you today.
Red-hearted, I tell you.
Why shouldn't they be? Selma, you ready to go, love?
Yes.
If you are all set, ladies, this question is for you. It is worth $150 to your rooting sections, and here it is. Ladies, you try to call one of your married lady friends. You get a crossed connection, and you hear her talking amorously with a man whose voice you can't recognize. They make a date to meet in a half an hour at a nearby bar. Then you get cut off. What would you do? Would you drop into the bar for a peek at who it is? Would you ask her who it was later? Or would you never mention it to her?
Guess who I saw today, my dear?
Yes, think it over, ladies, and we'll come back in a moment. Off you go. You're right, that's exactly the song, isn't it? Guess who I saw from New Faces of 1952?
Right.
What do you think Marianne would do in a case like that? She doesn't recognize the voice. It is a lady friend of yours that's married.
But she doesn't recognize the male voice.
She doesn't recognize the male voice. So,
Thank heavens it's not me.
yes, because she'd probably recognize that
Yeah.
voice, yes.
So she'd either go to the bar,
So go to the bar to find out who it is, take a peek,
right? Or
ask
she would...
the lady who it was, or never mention it to her.
Even though she is bananas, as far as I'm concerned, opening letters and, you know...
Even though she's in the blue
safes
section
and everything
today.
else, I'm sure that there's sort of a little code between ladies. There are certain things that just are not mentioned.
Do you
I mean,
think
it
so?
would kill her, but I don't think Marianne would mention it to her.
Really?
Yes.
Gee,
Wait a minute.
I can't...
Wait, you know, this
I can't
reminds
tell
me...
you how glad I am to know that. because-
Eddie,
Wonderful that I
Right.
keep going to that same little bar then, I guess.
Eddie Foy once said something about audiences turning. I don't worry until they grab you by the throat. So take it easy, Blue.
Yeah. Now, the Blues haven't grabbed anybody by the throat in, a week and a half, at least.
All right, I do think that, I don't think she'd go to the bar. I don't think she'd say anything to the lady. I just think she would ignore it.
Really? She wouldn't mention it to her at all?
She don't.
Okay.
She'd tell me.
We'll find out. This is the lady, however, who did open and read the letter that we got the other day on another show. All right, you'll say she wouldn't mention it. Here she comes. Good question, huh?
She mentioned.
What are you going to do, Marianne? Would you drop into the bar for a peek at who this fellow is? Would you ask the lady friend of yours who it was later? Or would you never mention it to her?
I would be dying of curiosity, but I would never mention it to her.
That's it. You got it.
I'd sure talk around it, but I...
Marianne, has it ever happened to you? Have you ever known about somebody but you couldn't say anything? Has that ever happened to you?
Unfortunately, yes.
Really?
Mm.
Well, thank you for not
like
mentioning
Connery,
it.
didn't it?
Yes, it sounded a lot like Connery.
Never mind. Oh. Hi, Ann.
No.
Show business kidding around here.
Yes, Bert has a lovely wife,
Yes,
Ann.
never mind. Mary Ann, thank you. You have a share of the pot. Robert, what will Mary say?
I don't think that she would say anything.
You don't think
You
so?
know? I think, what is that, the last one?
Yeah, that's the last
None of the
one.
above, is that it?
No, drop into the bar for a peek, ask her who it was later, or never mention it to her at all.
It's a close,
friend.
yeah, I know it's a friend, but
A married lady friend.
I don't think that she would say anything. You know, I really don't.
Why?
It's just an intuitive guess.
Yeah.
The fact that maybe she'd just rather not ignore it, but just, it's none of her business.
Wish I'd said that.
You know, none of her business. Just,
Intuitive guess is a very good response.
you know, I
You
think
got
she'd
it
take
right, Gary. You can't do any better than that. It's over.
Yeah,
But
I'm going to go with, I think that she would just, no, it's none of my business. Maybe I better stay out of it, you know?
okay. Gee,
I don't know, it never happened before. That's interesting.
Well, you don't know if it's maybe
No.
Mary hasn't told you.
That's right. That's maybe I'm
Could have
right.
happened.
That's it.
We're going to find out now.
Okay.
You will say she wouldn't mention it. Let's see what Mary says. Mary, what would you do now? You've heard this conversation. You don't recognize the man's voice. It's a married lady friend of yours. Would you go to the bar for a peek? Would you ask her about it later, who it was? Or would you never mention it to her?
I would be so incredibly embarrassed. I think I just wouldn't mention anything.
That's it. You're right. You got it. Yeah, it's interesting. Her reaction, embarrassed, is very interesting.
You know that song from My Fair Lady? Why can't, a hymn to him, why can't a lady be more like a man?
Yes.
My gosh, if I heard you, I couldn't wait to say, what? Who was that?
Really?
Guys will do that.
What I want you to do is start leaving me out of all of this. Will you guys? I mean, it keeps coming back. Gee, if I heard you, Bert, and it sounds like Ann. I mean, you're right. I understand what you're saying. And the next time I hear you, I'm going to ask you about it, too. You're right, Mary. Army, what will Selma say?
Well, Selma, like me, likes to get involved. I mean, if she saw someone hit by a truck, she'd run over and try and help them. And this is kind of a...
I don't think this is quite
well,
the same
this is
thing.
close.
I mean...
This lady is about to be hit by a truck, that's for sure. Now, the only question that comes to my mind, and I have to make a decision upon, is how involved does she want to get?
Right.
I think that...
It's fascinating, of course, Army, too, because you, writing a column every day in the Daily Variety, needless to say, that is news of a sort that you may or may not want to know, but you would certainly be interested in being privy to it, whether or not Selma would be.
Right. Well, see, there's also a question. If she goes to the bar to see who it is,
yes,
she could be seen by someone else, and someone else could wonder, now, what are you doing at this bar? And wonder if she is meeting somebody there.
There's a good thought.
So the involvement, I think, would narrow it down to if she is a good friend, and I know she is, and she'd want to be involved, I think she would tell. What was the
Yes, the middle one was ask her who it was later. In other words, bring it up later, I guess.
Yeah, bring it up. She would bring it up later, I believe.
But that's not on my card. It says ask her who it was later.
Ask her who it was later?
Is the second one. The first one is go to the bar and take a peek. The second one is ask her who it was later. And the third one is never mention it to her at all. Now I've totally confused.
Yeah, well, if she asked her later, it would solve nothing. It wouldn't try and help her friend at all. So I think she would be that gutsy and go over and take a peek.
Okay, now we're going to a peek. Oh, he's stepping it up, gang. All right.
You don't know Selma.
Here we go. He knows Selma better than you do, guys.
We'll find
Here
out.
she comes now. Shh. Selma, the choice is yours. A lady friend of yours married. You get a cross connection, you hear on a phone, making a date with a fellow, you don't recognize his voice. What are you going to do? You're going to go to the bar and take a peek? Or are you going to ask her who it was later? Or are you never going to mention it to her?
How does my hair look that day?
Terrific the way it looks today.
Well, this is so evil. I'd go there.
That's it! You're right. You're all right. You spin it 3 ways. We'll come back in a moment with question number 2. Boy, that's good game playing. What would you do, huh? Would you go over there and take
Hamlet or dandruff? Lily Tomlin or chickens?
What are they talking about?
Frogs, they go ribbit with frogs.
Talk About. It's a word game new to Buzzer that everyone will be talking about.
We're going to say diamond. You're right.
Yeah! Talk About. Weekdays at 8:30. Right here on Buzzer.
Hi. Sorry. Question number 2 coming up. I was a little busy meeting a charming lady here. And if you're ready to go, here comes the next question. Ladies, it's for you. It's worth $150. And this is it. Did you have something you wanted to add, Gary?
What? I was just saying that this happened to me. We're shooting a picture here on Ventura Boulevard about 2 weeks ago, and I went next door to have dinner with the director, his daughter, and me. The daughter's about 18, very attractive. At some point, John Lucas, the director, says, I've got to make a phone call. My son's in the hospital. He leaves. An old friend of mine comes in the door of this restaurant, sees me there with this very attractive young lady.
Oh.
I've known this guy for 10 years, wouldn't come over to the table.
Oh.
I said, hey, I want to let him know what I'm doing. I said, hey. He says, hey, Gary, how you doing? I'll see you.
This is okay.
But he called me.
He did?
Called me the next day.
And said, what are you doing with
That's
that
right.
little girl? Oh.
Selma would have gone over to the table.
Yes, right.
Well, his hair didn't look too good.
I think you covered yourself very nicely on that story, too, Gary. And if you believe that, folks, I have some land in, I won't say Florida. I get bad mail when I say that. Anyway, here we go, ladies. This question's worth $150. Ladies, which of you touches the other more? You or your husband? Good question. Which of you touches the other more? Off you go.
Oh, that
Goodbye. I'm sure we mean physically, and we'll start with you, Robert.
Ooh, it's either her or me.
Good, good.
Have I have that right. That's what it says there.
You have intuitive powers, sir.
All right. I'm going to say me.
You're going to say
I'm a toucher.
You're a tactile person, huh? You're a very touchy person, huh?
Yes.
Okay. You'll say it's you.
Yeah, she'll say that it's me, right?
She'll say it. Yeah, I'm asking Mary now.
Yeah.
She's going to say you. Here she comes. Mary, which of you touches the other more, you or Robert?
I touch him more.
No, that's not what Robert said. Bob said that he touches you more.
I know, but we've got...
Sorry.
What? What was that, Gary? Oh,
sorry.
Gary just censored himself. You had a line there, Gary? You didn't think you ought to throw that in there, huh?
We'll
Sorry
touch a
about
lot after this show.
Yeah, catch it later.
Maybe you will and maybe you won't. Thank you, Mary. I'm sorry about that, though. Army, between you and Selma, who touches the other more?
Well, you see, I know the correct answer, but I know also what she thinks. So I know what she'll say. I know, this is not the answer. I know I touch her more, but she'll say, and this is the answer, that she touches me more.
I see.
Okay?
You're not going to go, you know that she's not going to go with the facts as you see it. She's
Right,
going to go
of
with the
course.
facts as she sees it.
But of course.
Which is that she touches you more.
Right.
Here she comes. No. Selma, which of you touches the other more? You or Army?
This is a long answer, Red Section, so don't say anything.
Okay, be quiet now. Be careful.
I touch him more, but he said he touches me more.
But your answer is, what?
He touches the other more.
No, you had it right.
Oh, he's right.
He
He's
switched
right.
it to what you... He said exactly that. He said the real thing is I touch her more, but she's going to say she touches me more.
I said... What did I say?
No, you reversed it. You turned it back around and said that he will say that he, you know, and that's not what he
I said that I touch... That
he touches you more, but he said you would say you touched him
Honey,
more.
let's leave in touch.
Never mind. Just keep in touch. It's been wonderful seeing you. Gary, you got a chance to hold the thing for the Blues. That's wild.
Right.
What you did.
I can tell we've got a frenzy pitch.
No, it's called greed.
I see. Would you repeat the question?
Yes, sir. Which of you touches the other more?
It depends whether Don Rickles is on.
It's an old.
I would
that's
have
from
to
another.
say, I would say Marianne is just, she touches more.
She's a toucher.
She is she's a toucher. Very warm.
All right, that's it. Here she goes.
Okay, come on.
Marianne, you've got a chance to get the whole pot here for the blue section. Which of you touches the other more, you or Gary?
Well, we're both very demonstrative, so it's a toss-up, but if I have to answer it, I will say that I touch more.
That's the one! You got it. You got the whole thing. And it's halftime, fellas. Step to the rear, won't you? We'll bring the ladies out front. We'll come back with the second half of Tattletales in just a second. Don't you go away.
Is your
We've changed places after halftime. As you can see, I have the ladies with me. Fellas, we have 2/3 of a tie. Only the 2/3 that are tying aren't the third that are winning. Marianne and Gary got $200 and Robert and Army got 50. Don't worry, you can catch up. Here we go. Hold it down. This one's worth $150. Men, who is a tougher critic of your work? Your wife or you? Good question, too. Off you go.
Oh, boy.
Who is a tougher critic of your work? Is he a tougher critic? Is he harder on himself than you are, Selma? What do you think Army will say?
You have met Simon Legree Archard right here.
Yes.
Simone. I'm very tough. I mean, actually, his standards of perfection for himself are very, very high. But, you know, I'll read his copy the night before and I'll say, my God, he spells it C-O-N-V-E-E.
I've been called worse.
And, actually, the question is, which is
a tougher critic of your work? You or your wife?
No, I'm not a tougher critic of his work.
He's a tougher critic of his own work.
Yeah.
Here he comes. Army, who is a tougher critic of your work, do you think? Selma or you?
Well, I ask her to criticize me and to usually read my what I've written and also to see what I've done. So I'd say that she is a tougher critic. That's why I ask her to.
No, that's not what she said. Selma was going to go with that, and then she changed her mind. Why'd you change your mind, Selma?
Well, because it's not, spelling Convy with 2 E's is not so terrible.
No, true.
So I shouldn't criticize him for it.
Okay, well, now you know. Sorry, Army. Marianne, what will Gary say?
I think this is the most difficult question we've had. And I can only guess. So I would say that he's the tougher critic.
He's a tougher critic. Okay? You say.
Now, will you say yeah when he says the other?
Okay, here he comes. Sure. Will you love me in the springtime as you did? That's the question. Off we go. Shh. Gary, who is a tougher critic of your work, would you say? You or Marianne?
I am.
That's right.
I have done.
Thank you, Gary.
I'll make this very brief. I've done some things that I wish the curtain never went up on, but Marianne was always there afterwards to say, you were just terrific, to hell with them, what do they know?
Yes, right.
I do that, too. I do.
All right, Mary, what about Robert? What will he say?
Well, I hope he knows, but I do lie a little bit.
Yes.
Else I'll pay for it later on,
yes.
I think. So he's a tougher critic.
He's tougher.
Yeah.
And you just keep saying he's...
Oh, yeah? All right.
Well, she knows. Oh, I love that you said that. That's wonderful. I think wives have to be so diplomatic. You can criticize, but you better say it in the right way.
Criticize nicely.
Nicely, that's right. Here comes Bobby. Bob, who is a tougher critic of your work, would you say, you or Mary?
I'm very hard on myself.
That's it. That's what the lady said. Mary and Robert, Marianne and Gary split it in half. We'll come back in just a moment with our $300 question and decide the issue for the day. Don't go away. See you in a moment.
I'm ready.
All right, this one's worth $300, so this will decide it for the day. Fellas, here we go. Men, some people never seem to be able to relax. Which of the two of you has more trouble really relaxing? You or your wife? That's a good one, too. Off you go, fellas. For professional people, this is... And thanks to Ellen, we have a lovely question, and we're going to start with Selma. What will Army say?
Some of these questions tonight have been very difficult.
Yes, I know.
Because we all have different, you come to the conclusion that you view yourself differently than even those close.
Very true.
The truth is, I never relax ever, so it doesn't make any difference with me. And it's always the same thing. But Army goes through tense and relax, tense and relax. So I would say
You would have more trouble really relaxing.
Yes, I would have more trouble relaxed. No, he would. Wait, well, which is it? I would have more trouble relaxing. You find me hypertensive, all right?
Well, you said it.
Well, they know me better than I do.
So you find out things about yourself.
These are my friends.
Okay, you're going to say that you are the one.
That has more trouble relaxing.
Yes.
Yes.
You're the one. Here he comes. Army, which of the two of you has more trouble really relaxing? You or Selma? You seem fairly relaxed.
Who has more trouble relaxing?
Yes.
Selma has.
That's it. You got it. Okay, you're right, Army, and mathematically you still have a chance to win it all. Mary, what will Robert say?
Well, my dog has more trouble relaxing than both of us put together, actually.
Oh.
Well, you know, he definitely has more trouble relaxing than I don't have anything to get excited about, you know. So he has more trouble.
All right, it's Bob. Here he comes. Bob, which of the two of you has more trouble really relaxing, you or Mary?
Me.
That's it. You got it. Okay. A possible tie. Mary Ann, what will Gary say?
I smell success. I'm the one who has trouble relaxing.
Really?
Yes.
More trouble than he? Oh, okay. Here he comes. Gary, which sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Yeah. Which of you has more trouble really relaxing, you or Mary Ann?
Who has more trouble?
Yes,
Mary Ann. Mary Ann does.
Mary Ann?
Yes.
That's right. That's what she said. You got it. You're all right. We split it 3 ways. And the Blues win it. We'll come back in a moment and let you know how much the Blues have won. They haven't got the Blues. Don't go away. The Blues have done it with Mary Ann and Gary. $375. We had 1,000. A total of $1,375. That's all we have time for. Goodbye. I'll see you. Bye.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production.